Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I am Adam McCullough. We are live. This is the paper review following Newcastle 1, Manchester United 0. I've got a whole load of newspapers to be going through here, and we'll just have a little glimpse at the back pages for now before I check out some of your comments and of course give you a brief rundown on how I'm feeling right about now. The first is the Times, and the back page of the Times says Manchester meltdown with Man City losing against Wolves yesterday, United losing against Newcastle. They've gone big on Manchester United, and City losing. Also Manchester, that is in the Daily Mail, so they're also going big on that as well. And of course Mirror, I've lost half of a newspaper, but we've got the Mirror Sport here, and it says blankety mank. So that is what we're playing with here on today's show. On the paper review, we'll also be going through the player ratings as well of Manchester United's players, which aren't going to be very, very pretty at all. Thank you very much to you guys for joining us here on Full Time Devils as well. Whether you're watching it live or you're watching it back after we've been live, your support is of course appreciated, and you tuning in is of course appreciated. Now Manchester United of course lost yesterday 1-0. Longstaff's goal, obviously the goal that decided it, but Manchester United, we didn't have a shot really in vain. I remember a Pereira shot in the first half, a header from Maguire that should have went in, but beyond that Manchester United never had any real opportunities yesterday, nor did we at Alkmaar. We haven't scored more than one goal in a game since Chelsea at home on the opening day of the season. We've only won 2 games this season, which was against Chelsea and Leicester, and despite the fact we've drawn with Wolves and Arsenal, games that you can probably say, you know what, a draw isn't a bad result. The fact that we haven't picked up enough results, and we're now only 2 points above the relegation zone, albeit this early in the season, quite frankly isn't good enough. Now it's obvious Manchester United in the summer, we should have signed more players. That was quite clear, and I think a lot of the issues that we're seeing come down to poor management from the top, from the board, from the Glazers, from Ed Woodward. It comes down to poor management from the top. 4 failed managers now, 4 failed managers under their regime. They have to take some blame, and they have to take some responsibility for where we are going, but also for what we saw on the pitch. We were promised when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer come in that we'd see commitment, we'd see effort, we'd see running, we'd see a desire to attack, we'd see a willingness to get goals. But at the moment, we're not seeing that at all. Marcus Rashford is continuously played in a number 9 position. Mason Greenwood is a part of the squad. Now he's a young player, but we made him a part of the squad. Why not play him? It's clear Marcus Rashford isn't in form at the moment. It's clear that he probably needs a break more than anything, a little mental break, take him out of the firing line. But we keep persisting with him when he's clearly not in form. Now I know our options are limited, but we've got a Mason Greenwood sitting on the bench who's made 3 starts, scored 2 goals, and we haven't really used him. And it must be frustrating for him as well. And his baffling decisions, not having real efforts or scoring goals is not good enough. And I could take if Manchester United were losing games or dropping points, but there was a clear plan, there was a clear device for us getting forward, us playing football. Now I can hear the fact that you need more players, you need a midfield, you need a few more attackers. That is quite obvious, but we also need to get more out of what we have. We also need to get more out of what we have. We've seen Ashley Young is no longer good enough. We keep playing him. Why not play a Brandon Williams or someone? And I know you can say Adam, but you're rushing them in there. But quite frankly, Brandon was better than Ashley Young has been. Why not play him? And Ashley Young isn't the only issue there. He's not the only issue there. The failure to pass the ball. We can't even pass to a red shirt most of the time. It's frustrating. Simple basic errors that we're not getting right, and you can't account for them. You can't. You can say it's going to be a transitional period. I do believe we needed to go through this. I do believe we needed to flush out the squad, get rid of a lot, and get back to a position where we can build something. And I truly believe there's a nucleus of a decent squad there. The experienced players aren't helping. The younger players need help. They need a plan. There doesn't seem to be a plan. We've gone from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1. Why, Ali? We clearly played well in the 4-3-3, so why change it if it's not broken? Don't fix it. And ever since Paris, it's gone down. It's gone down, 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 down. And I don't get people that say, oh, but you know, this squad finished second. No, it didn't finish second. This squad is not the same squad. We've taken a lot out of this squad. Darmian, Herrera, Fellaini, Lukaku, Sanchez. We've got rid of a lot of players out of this squad, but we never replaced them. That was an issue. I want to see more from Ollie as well, and I want to see more from the coaching staff and everyone. But at the moment, we're not, and we've been beaten by Steve Bruce's Newcastle. That was only their second win of the season in all competitions, and we let them beat United, and it was far too easy. And that's why it's an issue for Ollie, and that's why I'm worried for him. I love him. I love him to bits, and this is painful to watch. Like, this is what we feared. I said this back in March. I said this when he came in. Do our due diligence, get a coach in. Because what's going to happen is we're going to give this guy the job, and then we might be like, he might be getting sacked by Christmas. And I don't want to be in this position with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We don't. It's painful, and the fans ain't going to turn on Ollie. We love the fella. We're going to turn on the board, and rightly so. And we heard a section of fans yesterday in the United end singing, love United, hate Glazer, etc. And I love that. The anger should be directed towards them. I feel sorry for Ollie. He's clearly out of his depth. And I've said, I don't know whether he's going to be a success or not. It looks like not at the moment. But I do believe at the end, whoever comes in after him will have a better squad to work with, in terms of they'll need to add 3 or 4 players, and then they can get to work. Do you know what I mean? I think he's changed the shape of the squad. Exactly what we needed. We needed to strip back. But also, if you look at it, when you take Pogba, De Gea, Martial out of that team, apart from having a decent backline, is pretty much relegation standard. So those are the facts, ladies and gentlemen. And talking about facts, it's funny that we're going to now go to newspapers who I doubt the date at times, but nevertheless, we're going to go to the Mirror Sport right now. And remember, guys, keep your comments coming in. Make sure you keep your thoughts coming in on everything that went down last night in the game. Keaton says stop blaming the board, which is weird. Prozoy says can't wait for a new manager. Good start. Team goes down. It's a nice cycle. A few Ollie outs and a few Ollie ins. The Man United job is too big a hat for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, says Lim. We knew Ollie was out of his depth and we wanted him to be given a shot after that good run. I'm not going to call for his head 8 games in. The thing is though, guys, the board said at the time that they were not going to rush into decisions. Do you remember that? They said we're gonna do interviews and we're gonna go through a thorough process before we appoint a manager. And then they made a knee-jerk reaction. Football director needed. That United family says, I want him to be the guy. Ah, for sure. I want him to be the guy. It'd be a dream come true if Ali could lead us to glory. But it's probably not going to happen. And our worst fears are just being realised in front of us. They're being realised in front of us. It's a damn shame. As I was saying, the Mirror Sport go with blankety mank. There's a lovely picture of Longstaff there. And Ollie says, I'm sorry, it will be tough to make top 6. I'm worried for top 10 right now, never mind top 6. We got City losing to give Liverpool the title already. And we got us, the long goodbye. Geordie debut boy blasts another dent in the faltering reputation of Ollie's lacklustre United. Have we got any player ratings here? United's next 3 games, by the way. Liverpool at home, Belgrade away, Norwich away. So not easy at all. Here are the player ratings for the lads from yesterday. Let's have a little look at them. David De Gea got a 5, should have got close to Longstaff's winner. Delo got a 6, steady, unspectacular game, keeping it simple. Maguire should have scored with a free header in the first half and missed. He got a 6 as well. Twanzebe got a 6. Physical youngster won his battles with Joe Linton and did okay. Young got a 6. Bloody hell, they're being generous. Had to be sharp to track Almiron, but could lift United. He lifted United. What? Pereira says broke United's shot on target duck in first half, but was poor. He got a 5. McTominay booked, bad tackle on Sean Longstaff and lucky to escape with a yellow. 5. I agree with that. It was a horrible challenge. Probably deserved yellow card. Could have been a red. But McTominay less than Young? No. Don't think so. Fred looked busy but lacks quite guile for the inflated 52 million price. 4. Probably right. Mata lacked impact and hauled off on the hour in a low-key game. 4. Danny James, pacey and initially United's best threat, but was well shackled. A 5. Rashford, so isolated at central striker, but their best outlet in the second half. A 6. I think they have been very generous with those player ratings. I probably wouldn't have given anyone more than a 5. Ashley Young, defo a 4. Fred, 4 as well. Maguire should be burying that header, man. But then, like, we can't be coming out of games thinking, what if over one moment? Do you know what I mean? I don't mind the what ifs if we've had 10 shots on off the post or something stupid like that. But when it's a what if over one opportunity in every game, you think about these games that have come past. We should have had a penalty against Alkmaar. Maguire should have scored. All these kind of things, like, it's one opportunity every game. It's a joke, really. We need to be creating many more opportunities now. Obviously, without Paul Pogba, it's difficult to do that in that midfield. It's difficult to create opportunities, but we have to. It's that simple. Players have to step up when he isn't there. And you'd think the likes of Andreas Pereira, the likes of Fred, Mata, they're getting an opportunity here to play, and they're not performing. Now, it may frankly be that's their level, but I don't think so. We need to be performing a lot better than we are at the minute. A lot better. Manchester, says the Daily Mail, going with the whole theme around Manchester City and Manchester United losing their games yesterday. Oh, Man City giving Liverpool the lead. Let's look for any more comments. Motivation says Freddie worse than Jemba. Will United beat Liverpool? Don't ask me stupid questions, man. Some Napoleon Dynamite stuff, that, isn't it? The Napoleon just makes noises, just mouth breathes at everyone. Right, where's all this chat about? Where's all the sport, man? What's going on? Rugby's not sport. They showed me that in the back pages. Jesus. Right, I think I found it. Yes, I have found it. They've gone with inside the ecstasy and the agony. God damn. The ecstasy and the agony. I love Steve Bruce though. That's one thing. Solskjaer apologises to fans is another story that they've gone with. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says Man United will do well to make the top 6 this season after slumping to another uninspiring defeat at Newcastle. The Norwegian felt moved to apologise to the travelling fans as United's winless run on the road extended to 11 games, with this 8-game start ranking as United's worst in 30 years and leaving them the 12th in the Premier League. Guys, let's put that into context. I am 30 years old. This is the worst start to a season I have ever witnessed. Makes me sick. Also shows how spoiled I am. He said, this game is very symptomatic of where we are. We don't create enough chances to deserve to win a game of football, which is pretty much what I was just saying. I've got to say sorry to the fans because we're not winning games, but that's down to us starting a rebuild. It will take however long it takes. It's a journey we've started and the culture is getting there. This is not a similar situation to Everton last year when I felt people had given up. These boys give everything for the shirt. But confidence is a big thing in players. It's only results and performances that will give you confidence. When there is a decision to be made, they don't do it instinctively. Now we have given ourselves a tough task of making the top 6, never mind top 4. We need results straight away to get momentum. But we need to clear our heads and get ready for Liverpool. This is perfect timing for an international break. That's sad to hear, isn't it? That's sad to hear, isn't it? That David De Gea interview killed me as well. Like, watching David De Gea like that. It was sad when you think of all the times he's been here. He's been here for a long time. Obviously, back end of it, during our bad times. Front end of it, during Fergie days. He's seen it all. Hopefully he'll be there for the rebuild and be there to take us back to glory when he's like 35. Shout out to Australia, Goran. Hope you're doing well. Ashwin says everything's just gone downhill from our bad form to Liverpool getting an 8 lead. Couldn't get any worse. Yeah, it's pretty bad at the moment, isn't it? It's pretty bad. In 7 years, 4 managers, but there are 2 constants. Poor recruitment. If Eden co-signed top tier players, snowflake disloyal fans, says Lance Neuer. McLaren says he's not wrong, actually buzzing about it being internationals, a break from their depression. This joke has got the hair and loads of broken hearts. They will sack him right after Liverpool. I bet there might be talks with Allegri during the international break, says Kareem. When I went to buy the papers, just I saw my mate. I saw my mate at the petrol station. We were pretty much saying the same thing, like, take out De Gea, Martial, Pogba. This team's scrapping, bottom 10 in the league. Really, it's a sad state of affairs. Of course, like I said, for every manager though, a manager can get more out of what they have. Now, I think we're not playing to the strengths of our players, or at least it looks like that. Whether Ollie's telling them one thing and they're doing another thing, I don't know, but it looks pretty bad. Nathan says it's the Glazers that need out, not Ollie. Manchester meltdown goes the Times. Let's have a look at this. More rugby stuff on the inside. More rugby stuff on the inside. Maybe I should take up rugby, seeing as this football thing's not working out for us anymore, guys. Alright, is these going to be in the middle? That's where it's going to be. This is where everything's at these days. Funnily enough, after Spurs got beat the other day, I tweeted saying we're going to take the heat off them, hoping I'd be proven wrong, but there I go. Look at this for a headline. United used to fight, now they just surrender. That is pretty bad, isn't it? That's pretty bad. We had 69% possession, 3 shots on target. Surely if you have 69% possession in a game and you're Man United, you have to be creating more opportunities than that. And it's got a picture of Maguire missing his chance as well. We're 2 points above the drop zone, guys. After 8 games, we've won 2, drawn 3, lost 3. Oh man, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Guys, what have you made of all that then? What have you made of all that? Let us know in the comments below. Keep your thoughts coming in on the paper review. Manchester United losing against Newcastle. I don't know where I am right now. I'm just gutted that I is going through this, but also like gutted for United, like gutted for everyone. It's sad times really, and we need to come out of it. We will come out of it eventually, just God knows when. Any more comments for me? Give us the ball and we'll beat ourselves. Full blame on Solskjaer and coaching staff for this boring style. What on earth happened to high tempo, high press of last season, says Anubhav. Biggie Smalls, thanks for the comment. Why no pen last minute? I'm not crying over penalties to get us 1-1 draws. Even if we drew that game yesterday, it wouldn't have been enough. It wouldn't have been good enough at all. 69% possession and standing at the corner flag with the ball makes no meaning at all, says another comment. Guys, this has been the paper review. Thank you for joining us here today. Manchester United have been beaten by Newcastle, and this was the morning after the paper review. Whatever you want to call it, this was it. And as you can see, this face isn't very happy at all, and I'm sure it's reflected by you guys sat at home. The one thing I would say is, guys, we have been very spoiled as Manchester United fans over the years, and maybe we just need to go through this time, and hopefully at the back end of it, it'll be a lot better for it, and United fans and the United team will be better for it. But while the Glazers are here and the Woodwards are here, it's hard to see where the success is coming from. Anyway, guys, I've been Adam McCullough, and I'm out of here.